Good morning, students. Welcome to the biology class. And in the class, I am Eji Sir, lecturer in biology, St. Gregory's High School and College. Today, I'm going to discuss a topic from chapter 12, Heredity in Organisms and Evolution. And our topic that we're going to discuss today is structure of DNA. As you know, DNA is a nucleic acid, one of the four major groups of biological macromolecules. All nucleic acids are made of nucleotides. In DNA, each nucleotide is made up of three parts: a 5 carbon sugar called deoxyribose, a phosphate group, and a nitrogenous base. DNA uses four kinds of nitrogenous bases: adenine, guanine, cytosine, and thymine. RNA nucleotides may also contain adenine, guanine, and cytosine bases, but instead of thymine, they have another base called uracil. And one thing that the amount of adenine always equaled the amount of thymine in DNA, and the amount of cytosine always equaled the amount of guanine in DNA. So, what's next about DNA? Do you know what DNA actually do in your body? What they carries, actually, where's their importance? Where's the significance of DNA in our regular life? Do you know them? Let's discuss about it for a couple of minutes. DNA stands for deoxyribonucleic acid. As I said, it's a nucleic acid, which is a molecule that contains the instructions an organism needs to develop, live, and reproduce. These instructions are found inside every cell and are passed down from parents to their children. It's a nucleic acid and is one of the four major type of macromolecules that I early mentioned. Okay, and you can find this DNA in the nucleus, with a small amount of DNA also present in mitochondria and chloroplast in the eukaryotes. I hope you have already know it. So, who proposed the structure of DNA? First, Mr. Watson and Crick proposed the double helix structure model for DNA. And for that reason, they got Nobel for discovering this structure, double helix structure of DNA. So, let's start what they have in their structure. We already discussed a couple of it. Okay. The DNA structure is a double helix structure because it looks like a twisted ladder. If you have two ladder and they're twisted, or if you have one ladder that is twisted, how do you look like? How would it look like? Okay. If you have one ladder, just guess, you have one ladder. It's twisted, it's twisting. Okay, that means that two strands is joining and it makes a double helix structure that is called DNA structure. And if you have two letters, that means if you have two DNA and it again twisted again, that means you have two double helix structure. The sides of the letter are made of deoxyribose and phosphate molecules, while the steps of the letter are made up of a pair of nitrogen bases. What are those nitrogen bases that I earlier mentioned? Thymine, cytosine, guanine, and adenine. Okay, so they are also they always make a pair between them, as adenine always remain with thymine and guanine always remain with cytosine, and these pairs are held together by hydrogen bonds. How many hydrogen bonds between adenine and thymine? There are one pair of hydrogen bond between adenine and thymine, and there are almost three. Yes, I'm right. There are three hydrogen bonds between cytosine and guanine. So, how do they work? There are any other characteristics in DNA structure? Yes, there are. What are they? Let's discuss about it. As you know, DNA is a double helix structure that is each DNA molecule is comprised of two biopolymer strands coiling around each other to form a double helix structure. These two DNA strands are called polynucleotides. Why they are called polynucleotides? Because poly means many. That means they are made of many nucleotides. That's why they are called polynucleotides. Each strand has a 5 end with a phosphate group and 3 end with a hydroxyl group. The strands are antiparallel, means one strand runs in a 5 to 3 direction while the other strand runs in a 3 to 5 direction. The two strands are held together by hydrogen bonds. I mentioned it before. If you haven't heard it, please rewind the video again. Basically, this DNA is composed of deoxyribonucleotides. As I said, deoxyribose plus nucleotides. So that's all about almost all about DNA structure, but still there is something that the diameter of double helix is 2 nanometer only, and double helical structure repeats at an interval of 3.4 nanometer, which corresponds to 10 base pairs. That means 10 base pairs. Okay, so that is all about, I think it's all about DNA structure. After hearing of all that thing, still if you have any more question about it, you may ask. Thank you for attending the class. Try to stay at home. If you want to go outside, wear a mask. Thank you very much.